Heikel, I truly apologize for all the harm I have caused you. You are a nice person. I understand that you are unhappy with me, and I am also unhappy with myself for treating you badly. Therefore I ask for your forgiveness, please. That was the message. I overcame my pride and sent to Kelvin after waited for 2 days without seeing his call, or probably coming to check on me as usual. Though after sending the message, I waited for his response towards my message, but he didn't reply, which scared me a lot. The next day, as I was contemplating and expecting his call or message, my phone suddenly blinked. Oh God! Please, let it be him. I prayed inaudibly as I swiftly went and checked the message, but what I found infuriated me. For a better network experience, please upgrade your SIM to a G4 network. Stupid mountain, I murmured and sighed furiously. Anyway, I said, I have done my part. Let him respond if he likes. I concluded because I was beginning to be annoyed. Anyways, due to this situation, I couldn't go to work for 2 days, and my father has begun to notice. Kate, he called. Dad, I answered. What actually is happening? Do you have anything to withhold from me? Not at all, Dad, I said. Why don't you go to work? Dad, I just don't feel like, I said. It's okay, but understand that I love you and wouldn't exchange you for anything. Thus make sure to tell me anything that bothers you, he said and left my room. However, I felt horrible for not telling my father the truth as I stared at him in such intensity. I was truly suffering from heartbreak, and at the same time, I was beginning to love someone I had frustrated, which I'm not sure he was going to love me again. In all honesty, something is really hurting me. Maybe I would tell him later. I concluded I had almost took my mind out of Kelvin after waited for 4 days without hearing from him, and thought maybe he has found a new love. Before I knew, I saw a strange number calling which I immediately picked without wasting time. Hello. How are you, Kate? It's Cole, he said. Oh my God, Kelvin, I was waiting for your call, I said with excitement. Seriously? He said. Hey. Hope everything is fine. He asked. Yes, I replied with such an excitement, and I believe he was very taken aback by how nice I had become, in contrast to before, when I wouldn't even answer his calls. Anyway, that's life, I pondered. And as the saying goes, the only thing that is constant is change. Perhaps I had changed for good, I said while I lit my face with a beautiful smile. Though we had a lengthy conversation that ended with I love you. Honestly, I have fallen for him immediately. My relationship with Kelvin has begun to blossom. I mean, we go to different places and had fun with the taste of good life. Just as I was getting back into the swing of things, ungrateful Mandy abruptly started calling. Though I had ignored his calls for several days, until I decided to pick it that day. Hello, Kate. So you believe you could possibly leave me due to your fictitious father and wed someone else? I mean, do you really believe it is going to work out? He asked. Anyways, to check your WhatsApp, I just sent you a gift of life, he said, and I quickly went to see. Lo and behold, it was my nude video call which we did before we broke up, which I never knew he had recorded it. Oh my God. Mandy, you crazy? I said, and his phone went dead. After seeing my nude video, I went to bed while feigning to be strong. However, deep down, I was dying inside. Oh, so the bad people today were probably good people yesterday, but the evil that meant you quickly changed them? I pondered while I faked a smile. Perhaps it's just a joke, I said. Or maybe it's all just a dream, whereby when I wake up, everything will be gone. I concluded while I answered the call of Mr. Sleep. Yes, I slept off hoping to wake and find out it was just a fantasy, or probably a mere joke. However, when I woke up after a few hours of sleep, I came to discover that it wasn't a joke. In other words, it was real. I mean, it was so dirty, that can tarnish one's image. Anyways. How did that even come about? I asked myself. So this guy has therefore been cultivating this horrifying plot against me for all this while. I pondered. Perhaps, apart from the video call, I suppose, he had installed a covert camera in his room and videotaped each and every act we performed. Maybe he would show me in subsequent time, because I overheard when he told me that it's just the tip of an iceberg. I pondered while I sighed furiously. But anyways, women should not blame me, because we all act foolish while we're in love, but after being taught a lesson, we start loving cautiously. Though I found it hard to comprehend that the person I fed, clothed, and otherwise cared for would want to harm me in this way. And now I don't know who I should even disclose this to, Kelvin or my dad. If I tell my father, he'll say that he forewarned me about Mandy. And he might kill this man without giving it a second thought. I mean, my father is a real bad guy. I murmured. And if I also should tell Kelvin about this, it may jeopardize our relationship, I reasoned as I ultimately decided to handle things on my own way, which I had no idea that I was a fool for thinking such. Though knowledge, they say, it doesn't come when it's needed. I had no idea how easily persuadable a woman is. Until I placed a call on Mandy. His phone was ringing and he refused picking it, making me to call him countless times. And when he finally picked the call, he then felt like a king while commanding me left and right. "Hello," he said. "Oh, finally you've called me, Kate." The daughter of a rich man, he made jest of me. "Could you please let me speak?" I asked. "Say what you want to say, I don't have the whole day, say," he replied while I paused for a few seconds. I mean, I was really out of control. I felt like strangling him, or probably took out both of his eyes. But I quickly calmed for a reason. "What do you want?" I managed to ask. "You want to know?" he replied. "Oh yeah, give me the head of your father," he said, and I never knew when I told him God punished you. God pun. Me, Abby. "Mandy," I called. "Please delete those videos and let bygone be bygone. You know I never meant to leave you, you chased me out of your life. Please let us not have issues with each other." "You're talking nonsense, young lady," he said and ended the call. But before he ended the call, he had informed me to book a place for we to meet and talk better. After a long kiss, I was able to disengage myself from him, while I sounded him a dirty slap. I said. "Never you try that nonsense again, or it will amount to something else," I warned him while I made a walk out of his house, and zoomed off. After that first event, Mandy left the town to where only God knows. Perhaps he thought I was going to apprehend him, but no, I was under a spell. I didn't really remember what had transpired between us as soon as I left his house. Perhaps if I had remembered, I would have finally informed my father and called the moment I came back. However, the spell was really working on me. Though I regretted, procrastination is a bad habit. Anyways, my father was really happy for the decision I made by accepting to marry Calvin. I mean, I vividly saw it in his eyes. In all honesty, I never see him happy in a long while. The last time he was that excited was when my mom was still alive. After the woman died and people started accusing him of being responsible, the man's happiness drastically reduced. And I was happy that I could rekindle it, but I didn't know that I was going to add to his unhappy life. Though I really wanted telling him what I'm going through initially, but after visiting Mandy, I couldn't, because it appeared as though my mouth were tied. But most crucially, I was happy that Mandy was not threatening my life again. Perhaps he had deleted those dirty pics out of his phone as he promised. I pondered. It was just few days to my wedding. We went for our wedding dress, and came back with the most expensive ones. I mean, I didn't left behind, so I bought high-quality items, and Kelvin did too. And as you may know that the wedding day is the most revered day in anyone's life, you must therefore arrive in vibrant hues. I pondered while I smile. Furthermore, we headed to the wine shop. At the wine shop, oh my world, I stared at Kelvin, who ordered 10 cartons of a vodka-misted drink. Senator Jeff is attending our wedding. Oh, I said to him. Who? Are you being serious? He asked. Yeah. My father just hint me, I said. Wow, that's good. That means we have lots of personalities, he said as he pondered that he would soon become a full-grown man, and presumably make love to his newlywed bride for the first time. I love you, sweetheart, he said. I love you too, I replied while blushing. Anyways, the big day just arrived as a whirlwind. I mean, I was so ecstatic. We didn't believe anything bad could happen that day. We never fathomed that anything or anyone could stop our wedding that day. Families and friends, business associate, and well-wishers were all on ground to attend the function. Conversely, I clearly instructed my makeup artist to complete my makeup quickly in a fantastic way, so that when I climbed the altar, my face would be blinking. As I jiggled and smiled broadly, I heard a knock on my hotel room, and it was a masculine voice, and I wondered who could that be. Actually, I wasn't expecting anyone, even Cole, because we just finished talking on phone. And the only I chose to stay with me was Cynthia and 2 others. Anyways, let me see who is that, I pondered as I instructed the door to be open. Open the door, I said. The door squeaked. To my surprise, it was Mandy. I hissed. What are you doing here? I yelled. He stood motionless while sticking one of his fingers in his mouth. I'm just here to express my sincere congratulations to you and to tell you that I'm really sorry for everything, he said. Please can you tell them to excuse us for 1 minute? I have important thing to tell you, he said. No, I argued. Say it here and leave or else I will arrest you, I said. Just then, Cynthia swiftly approached me and begged me to approve his request, that he wouldn't hurt me, after all, they are in the next room. Wow, and all this while I was unaware that Cynthia was interested in Kelvin, and she was in connection with Mandy at the same time. Mandy wouldn't have known my hotel room. Cynthia was the one who directed him. Okay, I said after when she was done talking, and consented. Would you rather destroy our day or grant my request? For the last time? He asked. You're crazy, I remarked as I grabbed my phone and quickly called Kelvin. As the phone rang, he quickly picked, but I was not saying anything because I was lost, under some kind of influence of forces. I could only heard when he was shouting hello from the other side. Hello, honey. As I tried to carry the phone, he held my hands and pulled off my gown, as he forcefully wanted to have his way on me. Kelvin, on the flip side, senses some kind of foul play and swiftly sent his junior sister to come check on me. As the girl came, Mandy was struggling to have sex with me. As the girl saw what happened, she then alerted Kelvin, whom all of them ran to my room for my rescue. As Mandy saw them, he wanted to run before he was arrested. though he made a confession that it was Cynthia who brought the idea to make sure that my wedding was not going to hold just because I was going to marry before her. And he also confessed of using voodoo on me. He was charged to court and convicted. Though our wedding took place as planned,